And welcome to another YouTube of me, Dion, Leonardo Da Vinci, Mona Lisa, Al C, and anything else you can throw in there of the great genius in which he is. I'm only a messenger, so don't shoot the messenger. Now, this particular image that's right in front of us is, okay, the Mona Lisa on her left side of her cheek, which is the right side in which you look at is an image. I'll show you after the fact. Okay? This image looks similar to that image. And the reason why it looks similar, because it is actually identical without being identical. Okay, I know that's a trick question or a trick deal, but let me try to explain it. It took me all day to get to this point. Please. If you see the similarities of how the curvature, and it looks like an owl. I gotta scoot this over to make it a little nicer, huh? Let me do it. Sorry. Oops. See, I'm an amateur, but I'm trying. If you see how the holes will line up, these don't look like they do, but they do. When you take the one image and you put it over the other image, it's like a puzzle piece that's been added for like more color, even though we're looking at black and white. It's like throwing on a jacket on top of your clothes or your suit. So now I got it mixed, which one goes over the top of which. Let's see if I did this right. I did it wrong. Really screwing up for you, but that's alright. I'm only human. God knows. He made me. Okay, now when you take a look, see how it adds to it? And the reason why it adds to it, because he wants it to. I wouldn't doubt if he knew that you take this layer, this layer, and you lay it on top of this layer, and then you take the other one, in which so happens to be the lady with an arm in, and you take also the Salvator Mundi. They all have these pieces, and if you take a look, you see this actually, when you really stare at it for about 5 minutes, not only does it look like a little baby, and see, like here's a little baby, but this also little baby goes in here. So when you take and you drop that, see, the baby fits within. Okay, so this is a face. See this face? And when you pull down, see how that's a partial face? And that's a more face. So when you put the faces and the bodies together of this images, you see the circle and it runs on up. Okay, here it is. There's like a horse and it runs with a circle. Here's the circle and here's the horse. That's what his images are. He adds his extra dots into it. And it gets wilder. You've got one of the YouTubes in which is going to be coming out, and what happens is that he takes these images and he makes a skeleton face, okay, and then he'll make another skeleton face here, and you add these dots and a couple here, and then you add the dots and come here, and then he keeps doing it each time. And what happens, it builds and builds. The next thing you know, this image and this image builds into the one same image. So if you get the similarity of this curvature, I hope I'm on the right track for you, and you take a look at this, if you look at the bigger picture, you can say, how come I'm looking at a bigger picture? It's because that's what he's given you. He's continuing making it micro bigger each time. It may not be finished, but his next move on top of this, which would be hundreds and hundreds, are going to be, it'll finally build into the same big one. Now, this one may be a little bit further. It's very difficult to try to see, but if you also look, you see the V, here's the V. Sometimes he gives you a sign to let you know where you're headed. Now, I probably am 1% off or something on the move, or maybe I'm dead on. But if you take a look, at a certain distance, it looks like a man riding a horse. Here's a horse, and he's up here, and he's like standing on top of it. And here's like a dog running, and it's running this way. This is also most likely a spaceship of something with ears, and he's got his face here with a hat, and he's flying in heaven. The guy was one big kid. Now, if you also look at this face, there's an eye and an eye and a nose. It's a dog. Okay, this guy is a comedian. See how he will change it almost into like a cat or a rat? And if you take a look here, here's like a person with a hat like as if he's a cook and he's laying down. And then there's other people. He tells you a story. And the story is what he was imagining that day, or he was having fun with his friends telling like stories that you would end up in a campfire, you know, with the Boy Scouts. Now here is the image where it is. See where the hand is? It's right here. So when you actually open up this particular area, and you'll see how it's different, you're going to see where that curvature is when it's really open. Okay, you see this area here? It's so hard to see, but that is his area in which he hides his work. You can see it. And if you represent this piece, now that's in the Mona. Now the piece that mine was is, I'll show you where, that makes the double match, is what happened here? It's in here somewhere. Somehow something happened, a little glitch. Excuse me. There we go. Okay. Now the other image in which matches is in here, in this big face. See, he displays himself as a stylist. That means he makes his images of many different images of the same thing within the one image. I wouldn't doubt. I mean, the things I've seen, I wouldn't doubt there's 10,000 images and of just one image of what he's portraying it to be. So what you think you see, don't think you're going crazy, because I know I'm not crazy, and he's made me feel like I was crazy. And these images are fact; it cannot be disputed. And I keep learning, and so do you. I'm going to keep on going. I'll try to explain it better, and I'll try to show it better and better imaging, if I can get better equipment or learn the ropes. God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens, and you have a good night. Amen.